And in we go. That's right. It's time. One and all. Welcome back to the Midweek Mustache Grand Final Showdown. A classic one at that. B versus Anatan. 3D Clan up against Volta Esports. We kick off with Chinese versus Byzantines. Something else crazy happened, guys. Knights Templar got through the draft, and we have Holy Island this week. So B is going to have to get very creative because it was actually Anatan that got that pick as well as the Delhi. But quite possible that B got the upper hand on this opening game. Coastal Cliffs, Chinese versus Byzantines. This matchup used to be quite Byzantine favored. I think more recently China has been winning this. Definitely in the Pro Scouts meta. But could be desirable outside of that detail. We'll see how he wants to approach it. Because one thing I think that makes Byzantines kind of a bait pick here is the nerfs around stone. Your systems, specifically. The new optimal build seems to be the one where you go out onto stone and you start gathering early to build multiple systems. But you may be noticing something very different about this map. Coastal Cliffs doesn't give you a close stone. It's very far away. So not really a viable option compared to, say, a Dry Arabia. Now, I have seen a few players just try to alter this by going for a very classico, all-in type mercenary strat. But I don't know if the timing's really aligned against China. Just China, a very deceitfully aggressive Civ. You always think they're about the eco until they start supervising for production. Okay, so predictions trending a little bit towards B here. Imperial Academy is going to be coming in. Ooh, wait, do we? No. Okay, that's very fortunate for Understand. The balls are too widespread. One thing you have to look for China on this map is do the balls spawn tight? Because they spawn close to each other. You can pull both of them towards a Barbican location. Gives you almost 4.5k food to work with. Oh, I just realized that's 2x speed. So I think we paused for a minute, didn't we? And he is going to be moving out. Okay. Yeah, so very delayed, though, on his timing. But we are going to get the double villager. So he's looking to scale all the way up. Now, B... Does he go Pro Scouts here? There's no one on gold, so no. I actually like this. He's going to go aggro. Oh, that's sick, actually. Because Anatan's going to be weak at this point in the game. Due to the priority onto stone. So probably looking at what? Archer range? Archers would make a lot of sense here. Lets you deal with the Limitane. Most Byzantine players aren't really going to open Horsemen. They tend to go towards Spearmen first. In fact, more recently, when we see Horsemen as part of a 3-unit comp, so it's usually like Limitane opening, Longbows, then Horsemen. As in the indie game, Songs of Silence is beautiful hom, free-like. Yes, Songs of Silence is an interesting one. Very intriguing graphical style. I couldn't tell if they just got crazy with the graphic style or it's actually AI generated. I don't know if that's I don't mean that as in like insult. It's just... It's a very unique graphic style. And we do have the Horseman beginning. Okay. Walls are going up. That's smart by Anatan. Might benefit from a short wall here, but there's still a rotation around the back. Tree lines won't protect you there. We are getting the racks beginning. So, I think this is Pro Scouts. When you see Horsemen opening like this, it usually only feels good if you fill up Pro Scouts, because when do you ever want to just blob a million Horsemen against Limitane? It's not a good feeling. The alternative is he just continues being an all-in, but with 258 gold already stockpiled inside, and more to go from the taxation, it does feel like gradual PS. Meanwhile, Mercenary House is being dropped. I understand. Usually it's Javelins here. He goes Longbows. I like this. Okay. Yeah, this is cool now. So, Longbows, and the whole idea here is you can basically kite the enemy archers. You can kite the Chiganu. You can also go back for Horsemen yourself. Curious to see if he's going to go for the 1-1-1 build. It looks like we are fully caught up, so no 2x speed anymore. The deer stacks are pretty hard for Anatan to block. His own are all located on one side of the base, which is good. Because in some ways what this means is like B will protect this area. It means he won't harass your stone. So you do get the system levels. One tricky one is we don't actually have the stone being buffed at all. So there's a lot of inefficiency around that. Normally, like compared to a standard map anyway, you'd have stone buffed on the second system alongside berries or tree. He is any of those favored archers. Now, if anyone knows the ins and outs of archer spam, it would be Anatan. I want to say he's the most prolific archer spamming Chinese player in the game at this point. Does it to a gruesome extreme. We do have the blacksmiths already prepped for timing here. I wonder if you just ignore that, though. Could you not just play for fast castle here? He must be seeing something about the spawn that's exploitable. I thought it was going to be the stone, but he hasn't really steered over to there at all. And if he was going to, by the time he does, it's going to be too late. We've already got the fourth system being added in. Yeah, when I played Songs of Silence, the only thing I would say is I actually didn't complete the campaign now that I think about it. I found the combat system intriguing at first, but it maybe lacked diversity, lacked complexity to it that was hidden. It didn't really compare to, say, Heroes of Might and Magic in that regard. A Civ with better stone walls speed. Whoa, no. Does anyone actually want a Civ that has better stone walls? I feel like most people's experiences with stone walls is kind of negative, right? And yes, there will indeed be a HOM game in 2025. Olden Era, we don't know exactly when. People are predicting maybe around June-ish. I'm buzzing for it, man. I'm excited. So we do have walls full from Anatan on the west side. Yeah, I guess he's worried about an all-in. So what's Anatan's win condition here? Survive and go castle? I mean, B is flooding quite a lot of ponies. But you see what I mean about going longbows? Like, longbows always leads to horsemen added in as well. And to be honest, B's comp definitely justifies it. You have horsemen to count the archers, but then you have your own ponies to body block any attempt onto your longbows. Anatan is about doing everything possible to keep his longbows alive. Because when you play feudal Byzantines, you live or die by your longbow count. Nobody's not going to move in, but B. Whoa, he steers straight for it. A-clicks betray him, though. The longbows go deeper. Oh, that's crazy. Actually, B. Is he getting enough of a trade out here? The Limitarne are practically all gone. The horsemen are going to envelop now onto the longbows. The archer mass is looking pretty small, though. I don't know. I think Anatan outplayed him on this fight a little. What a sick play, man. Force him into rotation. The A-click betrays B. And now everything is messed up. He killed 3 of the 5 longbows there. But look at the green body count. Sick fight. So elegantly executed by the Byzantines here. Anatan now putting him in an extremely uncomfortable position. The second Pro Scout's deer stack going to get blocked. Would benefit from having some more Limitarne coming in to deal with the horsemen. They have arrived. The longbows are about to get here. That's the tricky part, is getting them in fast enough compared to javelins. They're a lot slower. And what a sick timing. Anatan also economically quite powerful now. System level up to 4, so that's going to be the 22% buffer. China's going to be a little bit better due to supervision, but the distance gap is not as big as you'd think here. Actually, arguably, China's not better with supervision. Because they get 20% more, but you are buffed by 22% on presumably your entire economy at this stage. The taxes are the thing that balances out a little bit. That's an extra tiny trickle. I'm going to keep poking here. Is the plan to tech behind this? Maybe force B to overreact? Because it feels like it's working. E queues up another 6 horsemen. And yep, I'm aware Heroes Free does very well on Twitch. I even represent one of the biggest streamers for the game. You're talking to someone who has a lot of love for Might and Magic. Okay, so B, he's almost at the tech up. Clock Tower feels pretty good here. The map is thin. We've seen some people, they were going Imperial Pass before, but I feel like that experiment is over. Not many people do it anymore. Horseman mosh pit, not great for B. Yeah, jumping the gun. I presume they used to have better numbers, but he didn't wait for them. I think B's maybe paranoid that Anatan's checking. It's crazy because actually, like, no such thing is occurring here. Yeah, it's kind of wild how Anatan isn't actually ready for a tech up after that type of fight earlier and the rematch by B. The fact that B is closer to a tech up than Byzantines here, not something you'd expect to see. But, you know, he did scale a level 5 system. Although it'll be worth it down the line, there is an initial investment, initial cost. Then there's the movement out into things like berries, etc. Like, this is the difference with Pro Scouts. With Pro Scouts, we just don't move. Pro Scouts, like Wheelbarrow, can sometimes feel like not even needed. Main reason you got Wheelbarrow is because of the tree line. Clock Tower it is. Really good start for B. Anatan. I wonder. Because one tricky thing now for Biz is you can't really play Lancer versus Cataphract. Like, scaling that is very difficult. And maybe you don't need to on such a thin map. I mean, he's got some walls up. If he continues that trend, you play flanks. But I think that's where B's choice to go for a reblob on Horseman was quite crafty. Where Knights wouldn't be able to burn for a palisade quick enough for a trade, Horseman will be able to because there's so many of them. Is macro from Anatan? He can convert that gold into upgrades, technically. The food income is just a little bit lacking. I don't know what happened here. The berry gathering on the front side, maybe he should have put more people there. Or opted for the deer, which he's now going on to. But here we go. Golden Horn Tower now coming in. And B, is that supervision on the monks? It is not. Slow and steady, he says instead. He does have map control. Yeah, also with the veterancies being there, Anatan is not going to want to come out straight away. So really good opportunity here for B to just hoover up the majority of relics. In fact, almost every single one is in contested territory. I can't believe after that early dive how clean B looks right now. Like, Anatan, with that very big win on the engagement, it looked like that was just going to decide the game. All of a sudden, though, B. Fast blob now into Knight Archer. And it will be the 3 monks, so looks like it's probably going to be 4 relics for B. That definitely hurts. I think for Byzantines, where that hurts most is you technically could justify just scaling Lombos here to try and hold on, but the problem you're going to have is, obviously, if you only get 1 of the relics, you don't have much olive oil pump at this point. And it has an insane gold spot. What do you mean, this one? Oh, you mean insane in a bad way? Yeah, it's really far forward. If you think this is good, just give it 2 minutes. It's going to be very hard to stand there. If Anno is still gathering stone, you could at least see him maybe going towards some catapults. Get the mango towers, just keep your opponent away. Seems to be lacking that though. I mean, he did at least stop the pro scouts from getting full value here. We'll go for the wall. So in theory, B doesn't have as much food as you'd normally see in a Chinese Byzantine game here, because of the fact that Anatan's doing a good job of taking it away from him. Yeah, Anatan, it will be Cataphract. So why Cataphracts? The reason is your biggest counterplay here is that China goes triple Nesta Bs against Lombos. Very likely to happen as you get that count up. For Anatan, you're going to win or lose this game based on Lombos right now. So Cataphracts are basically anti-siege. They're your snipers. They're the things that are going to be able to take out the Nesta Bs. Okay, looks like somehow Anatan got one of the central relics, but B. Well, Anno doesn't have a tower here anymore, so he actually doesn't know this is happening. So our prediction is correct, just not in the order we expected. The scouts are going to get the bad news. The timing as well is very unfortunate there. Yeah, wall goes up just as he arrives. All right, ones if you think B's going to win this. Twos if you think Anasan's going to take it. We've got those Nesta Bs. And a pass guard switch. Mirrored by the Varangian. So, I'm trying to think actually if there's a Civ that Nesta Bs is more effective against than Byzantine Western Contract. And I'm coming up a little bit dry because think about what Anno's doing here. So for a start, Lombos will get shredded by Nesta Bs. Kind of worse than that. Even if the Lombos can't be reached, the Nesta Bs can shoot the Varangian. Now, normally that sounds bad because bonus damage, etc., etc. But the thing you have to keep in mind, guys, is although you miss out on a lot of bonus damage, Varangian also miss out on a lot of raw HP. They have 15 less HP than the standard men at arms. They're not that tanky. I know. Oh god, he ran out of gold. Yeah, so this is the rush to the front. If B only knew right now, I mean, he only has 2 Nesta Bs, so he's not a critical mass yet. If Anno can actually hold on this fight coming up, really good shot at this because, of course, he'll have the double gold to go long. But if he has to retreat from this area, it's pretty much over. Because he won't be able to afford anything. Oliver count isn't crazy either. He's only got, what, about 9 farms? 12. Nob 7.5 tower range, longbow 7. I don't think it's that good for that reason. You have to think of it very differently. So we'll make a comparison to something else that can exist in this game, in this matchup. Hippodrome. Triumph. When you use Triumph, it actually doesn't feel that good. The potential feels high, though, so people have to respect it. Same with Nesta Bs. If you have half your army, close to half your army, or half your fighting value being in longbows, but I've only put 10% of my fighting value into Nesta Bs, but that keeps half of your army away from fighting, I've won. Because you can't fight. That's the point. It is the threat of their existence. It's the same reason when someone builds a lot of Springolds, you don't just build a lot of Springolds yourself, you add in a demo ship. Because now they have to play very differently. So 3 Nesta Bs, 4 to come out. Springolds could make a lot of sense here as well, but I think you want to slow down on that. He kind of needs some more info. Anatan's doing something a bit wacky. It's going to be additional cataphracts. Can he cataplob here? With gold access, in theory, yes. And obviously, he'll be scaling into those olive groves gradually. Oh, the other thing that's crazy about Lombo versus Nesta Bs is because their range is so close, when you run them away, Nesta Bs hide in the melee line. So like an extra layer of protection, and that hurts to begin with. Good flurry for the knobs. Trample to the back line. He over-tramples. Nesta Bs is still safe. They just turn around for Lombos now. B, he's not paying attention, though. He's A-clicking them. Finally switches over. Lombos. Move in. Reloads are coming through, though. The cataphracts, I mean, they're not getting their targets anymore, so LB's in trouble. More of the catas are going to now arrive. The B, I mean, this is so unlike him. That Nesta B micro wasn't there at all. Does still win the fight. And now in the retreat, she'd be able to clean up a lot. Yeah, extra flurries coming through. Worker kill count, not really changing too much here. Even though there's a repair force inside. There's a few cataphracts left over, so B needs to be careful with the chase. Honestly, Banatan, that was a lot cleaner than it ever should have been. Or should I say less messy than it should have been. If B had been clocking the move in on the longbow straight away, he gets a Nesta Beast flurry out of 3 earlier. These guys are all dead before they do anything. He's still looking like a cleanup, though. He's going to have to slow down a little bit. He's switching crossbows because Anatan still has 1 ace up his sleeve, and that is the Cadders. And wait, whoa. He's building Arbitrary. Wait, what? Okay, in theory, cool, but still doesn't answer Nesta Bs. Now he's got Sapahi. I think that's actually from the Golden Horn Tower, though. Actually, Sapahi's pretty good here. Sapai makes a lot more sense than Arbitrary. The problem, though, for Anatan is he doesn't have late-game olive oil income yet. Kind of weak in that regard. Only 13 farms. On the Barbican. We're getting very close to the gold veins that he's been tapping. Already cleared one. Still has the 4k he needs here. B can't rush in, though. Due to the cataphracts, he'd lose all the siege. Do we have farms yet? No, no consideration. He's going to need to give it consideration soon, though, because he's running out of finite food. Wait, is he going to... That's crazy. He's going to sneak the ball? There's nothing sneaky about it, though, it seemed. Okay, that's smart. He's going to aggro it over to him and kill it at maximum range. Wait, no? Look, wait, we're just freaking out, I guess. Oh my... No way. No way. Are you kidding me? The cataphracts just found the jackpot. 15 villager kills. I cannot believe that. Was that a distraction all along? I don't know. I think B distracted himself, if anything. B ahead, now in deep trouble here. And also the nest of B's unguarded because of the panic. What's going on? One down. Could easily trample for the rest. Is he trying to force a fight instead? He is going to dive. We'll look to bypass now. Forces the villagers away. And all of a sudden, a 10-worker lead, but so much more for the Byzantines. That is wild. And he's still raiding. I mean, Adesanya may have just firmly parked himself in the driving seat with these rotations. Even more still to come. Textiles for what? Cataphracts do not care. Absolutely absurd. And this is so good for Anatan. He's buying so much time for his real win condition, which is the farms. If the olive groves go up, he can start zerging. And they are gradually getting there. We're now up to 21 olive groves, another 5 to be added in. Cataphracts are just not done chowing. Or rather chow down upon the enemy. It's not chow time yet, as in time to leave, because they have so much HP. This is ridiculous. I mean, 3's the magic number. He's got 4 just to be safe. And he catches him at the very beginning of a farm transition. Incredible. And leaves the base with a 15 villager lead. I mean, this game was close to over as well. The walls just didn't protect B in the way he was assuming they would. And Anatan made a very scary choice to double down on cataphracts. Especially after revealing in the last fight, you'd expect crossbow mass, spear mass, etc. Of course, the threat of longbows maybe keeps B away from spears. Still. Now, after securing such a lead, Anatan can take the risk to trek across the map. Isn't going to go for the central gold here. Doesn't want to risk an interception by the Nest of Bees. Yeah, can you imagine working this hard to build a villager lead and then just getting hit by 5 Nest of Bees on 32 villagers? Let's avoid that problem. And yeah, the reason I sound different today is because we are ill. Very ill. And yet we commit. Mango towers now. Who would win? A landmark or a little tower? It's the tower. The tower which wins. Nice landmark you've got there. Slow but steady. Meanwhile, B needs to play this slow now. He's going to warm himself in. Farm transition underway. Has not gone to TC. I think Anna could just reach for Imperial at this rate. I mean, Army's still got some wiggle room to scale. Oh my god, again? It just keeps happening. Another 3, 4 villager kills. There's a lot of Sabai as well, by the way. It's an interesting unit because of the interaction alongside Cataphracts. So you can start a fight with Cataphracts, Cataphracts and Sabai rather. And the Sabai will attack over the head of the Cataphract as like a second line. And then you can just, if you see a golden opportunity, trample past. And they can take your place as a pretty solid frontliner. Same with just Horseman Sabai. You can come from the sides of Cataphracts instead. This is pretty crazy. It's like one of the scariest cavalry comps I've seen. It's not often you see a 3-unit cavalry comp that looks this fierce. That's wild. Even as the Trapper's Eye, it's just to burn through and in quicker. It's like a small contingent of infantry going to run in. We'll get intercepted though. Anatound at this stage is kind of like a probing force to see what his opponent's actually built. What he needs to prep for. And now, are you kidding me? He goes forward! Catches B before he can get the Louis MT walls up, and he munches down all the siege! You have to keep an eye in the back of your head with Anatound. B needs to invite Voldemort to part of his body, just so he can keep an eye on every direction, because this man is always slithering in. Incredible by Anatound. Complete wipe of the siege. The biggest threat to him has now been removed. B has to waste a lot of time remaxing into the Nest of Bees again, while Anatound now has the clear thumbs up to go Imperial H. The timing on that as well, just before this cheesy little wall section comes up. Walls that would have stopped the Cataphracts from ever initiating that. But yeah, I think he's starting to feel the pressure. Mangonel placements is problematic here as well. Being that Mango placement. Oh, yeah, he did force a repair. This looks so hard to hold. He only has 26 spears against 22 Cataphracts. That's not enough. If you even show these Nest of Bees, they are going to die. He's teasing him. I know he's going to back up. He could have taken this fight, but the reality check is tech first. There's no negative from doing this. So, foreign engineering company in the way. That means he's going to get a bunch of booster seats for free on these units. So, Arbitrary, for example, will get the Gambeson's tech. There's a party I don't think get anything, weirdly enough. Yeah, what's these stats? Crossbow stirrups and Gambesons for free. Yeah, not 1, 2 techs. Trade-off, like I said, is Sapahi don't get anything, sadly. I mean, they don't have any unique techs. They're already good enough, though. And now the Imp Rush on elite upgrades. Hasn't actually switched Dialecticus. But I don't think Anatound has enough time. Oh my god, Mango emplacement in the castle as well. And what's up, Warstorm? Thank you very much for the resub. Appreciate it, mate. Get those Prime subs in. Beginning of the month. Perfect time to do so. And a perfect series to do it on because we are only in game number 1. Where B was meant to have the gotcha pick. The Chinese. The unslayable. Anatound, on his deathbed, pretty much just released a bunch of mustard gas into the room while wearing a mask. Now B's the one writhing on the floor joking. Arbitrary. They just got upgraded. Golden hats are in. That's it. This is not a fight anymore. This is a massacre waiting to happen. Cataphracts ready to rotate in. The elite upgrade just hit and tramples on top of the bees to immediately remove them from the fight. One flurry, not enough. One game is enough to ignite hope here for Anatound. Bees win streak has to be feeling a little bit threatened after the grand finals starts like this. What a crazy game. Anatound, genuinely, he did look like he was going to lose the game. He was falling behind the worker kill count, the state of the relics. So many things looked up for B. But in the end, it's going to be a 1-up for Anatound.